Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is another one of those did not plan on that type of ish. I had another video planned. I was gonna do my December favorites, like my favorites of the month of December, but then I was like, it's so close to the new year and I at some point wanted to do a video in which I talked about my favorites of the year. So instead of doing my December favorites, I figure in this month I'm just gonna tell you guys my all-time favorites of the year. And the way I wanted to do this is I'm not necessarily talking about my favorite product of the year, like my absolute favorite product, my favorite foundation. Like, I'm not necessarily talking about my favorites of all time. These are not necessarily like my holy grail products, but they were just so used and so very loved in the year 2018 that I just feel like they need a mention. And that's what my video is going to be, is I'm just going to tell you guys my favorite of this year, my favorite foundation, my favorite primer, my favorite highlight, my favorite bronzer. I'm sure a lot of you guys, if you guys have been watching me for a while, you guys are gonna guess what I'm gonna talk about. So I'm gonna go ahead and try and get through these in order, but some products I'm just gonna be real honest with you guys because I don't want this to be a very super long video. I already have a feeling that I should advise you guys to grab a snack, grab a cup of tea, and just chill here for a minute with me, because it's probably gonna be a long video. But because I don't want it to be too long of a video, I am going to not really talk about certain products a lot because I've already raved about them so much. With that being said, go ahead, get comfortable, because we're gonna talk a lot of makeup. My all-time favorite primers of the year, I gotta hand it to these two. The Nivea Sensitive Post Shave Balm. You guys, I have bragged about this so very much. Again, this is one of those products I don't really think I need to stay on. It's just awesome. And the reason this is making it to my favorite of 2018 is because this primer I've worn with other primers, but for some reason, when I have this on hand, when I have this in front of me, I have to use it. It just does something to my skin. It's hydrating, it's comfortable, it's not sticky, and it just amplifies whatever other primer I'm going to use. And for that, I love this. I would feel so guilty if I didn't talk about this primer because I used it so much this year. It was in every other tutorial. Like, am I wrong? Like, am I wrong? Next product I want to talk about is one that I just can't look away from. Like, this was my favorite setting spray and primer of 2018 because I used it for both. You guys know I really like to prime with setting sprays. I feel like it just adds another layer of protection. I feel like it just adds something more to the skin, and I feel like it just amplifies like the blending process and the way that the makeup wears throughout the day. So for those reasons, I had to mention this guy because this was the setting spray I used the most of this year, even though I didn't get it until like later on in the year. Once I got this, I completely stopped using all the other ones. I had to talk about this one. Favorite primers of 2018. Favorite foundation, this one was actually not hard at all. When I was thinking about making this video, I was having my tea very early this morning, and then I was like, well, what foundation was my favorite one? And then I was like, duh. This isn't necessarily my favorite foundation of all time. Again, the products that I'm mentioning were my favorite of 2018 because of how much I use them, because of how well they performed this year, because they really had my back this year, fam. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. And then when I was like foundation, I was like, baby girl, there's really only one that I used so much and that had my back so much this year because of all the events that I had to go to, because of the quinces, because of the parties, because of being on television, and I just needed a foundation that I knew was going to last, that was gonna wear beautifully, and that was gonna give me that coverage. I gotta hand it to my L'Oreal Pro Matte Infallible, and I think the reason this one has to just get it this year is because I went through 2 of these this year, guys. I review makeup for a living. I do makeup tutorials and makeup reviews and try out different foundations for a living. So for me to actually go through one twice in a year, that's saying something, and that's just a testament. I went through 2 of these this year. This is a foundation that I wear every time I'm on television. This is a foundation that I've worn to every single event because I can trust it to last. And this foundation, I'm gonna be completely real with you guys, I think is the reason it kind of broke out too, because it is a heavy foundation. I love this foundation, don't get me wrong, but this is a foundation that I don't think can be your everyday foundation, which is why I don't really use it every day. But because I had so many events, and because I, you know, extra butter, and I think also just kind of, I've been on YouTube and I've been doing these videos so long now that I know I can trust this, that I was using it so often that it did break me out, and that has caused my skin to be irritated. But I still love this foundation. gotta be honest with you guys and tell you this is not an everyday foundation, and I wouldn't use it as an everyday foundation if you have sensitive to really oily skin, which I don't have really oily skin, but my skin does tend to get really sensitive and get really delicate about the products that I put on it. So because I was using this so much, my skin did start to break out as a result. Again, I just keep it real on my channel. I try to keep it, you know, 100 with you. I love this foundation, don't get me wrong. This foundation is, I just know it has my back. This is like my wonder bra, but for my face. For concealer, I mean, need I say more, you guys? The Wet n Wild Photo Focus Concealer. Again, this product has just had my back. This product has been there for me. I've worn this product every time. Again, every time I film, I've worn this. Another concealer that I have to mention, which I was kind of hesitant to mention because it is such an expensive concealer, but the reason I also wanted to kind of mention these two together is because they are dupes for each other, in my opinion. Just one obviously wears longer. So the Yves Saint Laurent All Hours Concealer, gorgeous concealer, you guys. If you guys are looking to splurge on a concealer, and if money is not really like an object for you, and if you can treat yourself to expensive products but you're looking for one that actually works, this YSL All Hours Concealer. Baby girl. This concealer I wore so much this year. If I'm being completely honest with you, like I maybe have 1 to 2 uses and I still refuse to use it all up because once it's gone, like I just know it's gone. And it's not a product that I don't think I in good conscience could like treat myself to. If I were to spend like the 40 bucks on this, in my mind I'm like, that's a pair of shoes for autumn, or that's money I could use towards something so much better. My guilt will eat away at me. The only reason I have this now is because I was lucky enough for YSL to send it to me to review, but I love this concealer so much. And if I'm being Trey honest, like this is the concealer that had my heart this year, but when it wasn't like that special of an occasion, I would always use this one. So I have to drop in these two. Setting powder, there was really only one that and again, I'm pretty sure you guys are gonna know which one because it's really the only one I use in every one of my tutorials. And I know at some point you guys are gonna be like, Gloria, change it up. But like I've said, you guys, I'm on television. I perform live. I do comedy shows live under hot lights. I film under hot lights. So all that in bed with the fact that I have combo to oily skin, like it just, I have to use what I know I trust, and what I know I trust is the Sasha Buttercup powder. And oh my god, I don't know if this is actually necessarily super expensive. I know it's definitely not super cheap, but as much product as you get, like I've had this for a minute, guys, and I still have a lot, and I bake like a mug with this. Like you guys see in my tutorials, like I really I go ham with this. I go hard with it. But this is such an amazing setting powder. I discovered it on YouTube, and the girl who was describing it said that the reason it works so good for people with oily skin is because this was created by somebody who lives on an island where humidity is happening over there, and this is tested under that humidity and it still works. And that's honestly just the kind of strength that I need in my setting powders. It just works. It works. I can trust it. It's what I use the absolute most of this year, and I love it. Like I absolutely love it. What's after? Okay, setting. Eyeshadow. Okay, I guess we could just quickly do eyebrows real quick. Can we do eyebrows just real quick? I got this product also really late in the year, but since I got it, I could not put it down, and so the CoverGirl Brow Precise, I think that's what it's called, Ultra Fine Brow Pencil. You guys, I literally just made a video talking about this product, so I don't want to get too far into it, but when I tell you, like, it's just so worth your money and just so worth your investment. It definitely had my back this year because, like I said, once I got it, I knew I could trust it, I knew I could use it, and I knew it was gonna last, which is why I beef so hard with other brow pencils. But it is formulated very much like a higher end pencil, and I just absolutely love it. But the other product that I have to give a shout out to because I love so very much, and it is so gross. I really wish they changed the packaging on this because even though I know it's happening, I don't want to see it happen. But when it comes to brow gels, nothing really beats the Givenchy Mr. Groom Brow Gel. You guys, this is just such a good brow gel. This is basically hairspray for your eyebrows. So flippin' bomb. I love it with all my hearts and so much other parts of me. only it doesn't give you that hairspray feeling, but it definitely keeps them in place. And I have really thick, really coarse, really rebelde. They just want to do whatever they want to do eyebrow hairs, that when I don't set them, they get super crazy. And yes, it's expensive. For a brow gel, this is expensive. Honestly, it's just expensive because it's Givenchy, and in no way, shape, or form am I making you go out and get this. You don't have to buy any of these products. These are just, you know, my opinions, my reviews, my thoughts, you know? Okay, so eyeshadow now. I love eyeshadow, don't get me wrong, but it's really not something I go crazy about, if I'm being completely honest with you. Like, I don't go crazy about eyeshadow. So I honestly can't commit to one. I just don't love an eyeshadow palette enough. But the palette that I'm going to talk about is one that is a great palette, number one, and I actually really do use a lot and reached for quite a bit once I got it. The Urban Decay Born to Run palette. This palette has definitely earned its place in my life. Another reason why I had to give this one such a shout out is because this palette made me get rid of so many other palettes. This palette, I was like, I have everything in here, everything that I love, everything that I can trust. It has the most gorgeous gold. It has a beautiful transition shade. It has another beautiful transition shade. It has a perfect like deepening up, black and deepening up, which is really all I really look for in eyeshadow palettes. I think for the product that you get, for the amount of range and versatility, and just overall, like, if the packaging is beautiful, it's heavy, it's luxurious, I think it's actually worth the money. Even though it isn't drugstore, even though it isn't super affordable, I think it's worth the money, guys. And I think this is a palette that you can absolutely splurge on because it does have its neutrals. You can definitely just play with like this trio right here or over here, but there's also like some color that you could play with. Do I think it's the best palette of all time? No, but it's definitely my favorite palette that I own at the moment. Mascara. L'Oreal Lash Paradise. That's all I'm gonna say. I've raved about you way too much. I don't want you to get a big head about it. Overall contouring, I gotta go to my Cheek Parade palette and just say Hoola. My favorite contour powder to this day. I love it. It works really well as a contour powder for me. For bronzer though, honestly, I will be very hurt. Like, I'll be hurt. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'll be hurt if you can't guess what my favorite bronzer was, because how long have you been here? Like, how long have you known me? Even if you've known me the shortest amount of time, you should know what my favorite bronzer is. Milani Multitasking Face Powder in the shade 07 Dark Tan. This is my favorite bronzer of all time. I love this bronzer. I know it's a face powder. I know it's technically like a foundation face powder, but I use it as a bronzer, and this shade is so perfect. It is so warm. Stay away from this if you... Actually, you know what? I think this product is actually discontinued, so you kind of have to stay away from it because I don't think it exists anymore. Which is something that honestly breaks my heart. Like, I don't want to think about it. I don't want to think about the fact that I'm going to hit pan on this soon, and I don't know like how I'm going to react to that. Honestly, like, you guys are probably like, "Bish, you're exaggerating. It's a bronzer. Like, chill." But when I tell you that this is the one product I can count on that'll pull together my entire face when nothing is working, I don't know. Blush, honestly, Dolce Pink by Milani. On camera, I used it a ton. Off camera, any blush from Milani, honestly. I could have mentioned any blush from Milani in this video and it would have been like spot on. I love Milani blushes. I think Milani makes my favorite blushes of all time. They have my heart. But Dolce Pink is the one I think I reached for the most this year because I think I realized like I really like a pinky blush. So this one has my heart. I know Luminoso is like top dog, top baller, shot caller type of whatever, how that song goes. But this one I definitely reached more of this year. The highlight that I could not get enough of this year that I always wear, again, on camera, off camera, always, always, always. Coconut Island by JCat. Again, I don't want to get too into this because I literally just made a video raving about this highlight. It is not technically a highlight. It's labeled as a bronzer. I don't know who the F this is supposed to bronze. Casper. I use this as a highlight. Again, the reason I love it, it's baked. Does not emphasize texture. I've gone on and on and on and on about this product. Don't want to get too far into it. The Becca highlight in Prosecco Pop. I think this is Champagne Pop's little sister or cousin or aunt. I don't know. This shade I love so very much because it's so stunning. And somebody actually commented on one of my videos that if there isn't any gold, is it really a Mariaagloriaa video? And probably not. Honest to God, I love gold. I love gold eyeshadows. I love when I'm in a hurry and I'm doing my makeup, which is a lot of the time actually. I always reach for this because I know I can trust it and I know it's gonna look great. I just love the formula of Becca highlights in general. I think They are some of the best in the world, if I'm being, you know, completely H with you guys. But I'm telling you, like, the tone is perfection, the formula is perfection, and Becca, again, has one of these formulas that don't really emphasize texture, yet they're really pigmented. This might be the winner next year. I don't know. Somebody come with a better gold. We'll see what happens in 2019. I could not decide between lip liners. I could not. I love lip liners so much. I will skip a lot of things in makeup, but I will never skip lining my lips. It just pulls together my face personally, because I get asked all the time if I overline my lips, and the answer is yes, but here is why. I actually only overline like one side of my lips and only the top part, because for some reason this side of my top lip slants down like straight, and this side is like perfectly round and like plump. So on this side I really do kind of have to overline to match this side. So technically I do overline my lips, but not all of them, but I do overline like one side of my lip just to make everything even. So let me know if you guys would like to see a dedicated video on that, because I actually did a dedicated video on eyeliners and it seemed to really, like, you guys really liked it. Let me know if you guys want to know what my favorite lip liners are. Also lipsticks, lip products, I couldn't decide on one. I think I'm just gonna do my favorite lip products of the year solo dolo video too, because I have a few that I want to talk about, that I want to rave about, that I think are dope. So I'm gonna end this video here. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you guys have tried any of these products and if you guys really like them or not. Also, please leave me down your favorite product of this year down below, whether it be a mascara, a lipstick, a lip liner, a foundation. Please let me know. And I'm gonna be real honest with you guys here, I love, because I do go through the comments. I sometimes can't get through all of the comments because there's a lot, but I do try to comment back. But I really love seeing you guys comment on each other's videos and be like, bish, I love that foundation too, or baby girl, you try this one, or have you tried this one? I love seeing you guys communicate in the comment section, because we really are building like such a beautiful community. It's just like a real like makeup mafia group. Like, I love it. So please do that. I love you guys very much. I really love you guys. I'm so excited for whatever comes for us in 2019. I just think the beauty world is just, it's getting so good, and I just love it. I'm so excited to see what is happening, what is in the works. But my battery's gonna die. I actually really do have to go to like a holiday party here in a bit. Autumn's not ready and I still gotta get dressed. But I love you guys, and I'll see you in my next one.